Legacy Motor Club gives an update on Erik Jones' condition, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. signs a new contract despite JTG Daugherty's uncertain future. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. We've got a special announcement to kick things off today. My friends at the Daily Downforce and I have created an all-new Discord server. Come join an awesome community of race fans, connect with some of your favorite online NASCAR content creators, and so much more. Click the link down in the description to join. Still a work in progress. We'll see where it goes. I'm very excited. Should be a good time. Be sure to check it out. A massive crash at Talladega Superspeedway sidelined driver Erik Jones this past weekend at Dover. Corey Heim filled in. Today, Legacy Motor Club gave an update on Erik Jones' status. Erik Jones has been cleared to race by doctors and approved to return by NASCAR, but out of an abundance of caution, the team has opted for Jones to rest for another event. Corey Heim will drive the number 43 Camry at Kansas Speedway this weekend. Jones will attend the race at Kansas Speedway to support crew chief Dave Ellens and the number 43 team, and plans to return to the driver's seat next weekend at Darlington Raceway, a track where he has 2 NASCAR Cup Series victories. Great news, Jones cleared to return. This was his reaction, though, to not being in the seat this weekend. Jones posted, "I agree with Legacy's decision to ensure proper rest before I get back in the car. I will be in Kansas this weekend to continue to support the number 43 team and Corey Heim, and I look forward to being back behind the wheel at Darlington." Veteran statement there from Erik Jones. On one hand, I get why they would sit him an extra week. Jones is less than 2 weeks removed from actually sustaining the back injury, and Kansas Speedway is a high-speed track that has produced more than its fair share of gnarly crashes in recent years. And Erik Jones right now is 84 points outside of the playoffs by my count. Pointing his way into the top 16 is extremely unlikely. He's got to win. And Darlington, 2 weeks from now, is maybe one of his best shots to win between now and the postseason. Keep him fresh for the Lady in Black makes sense to me, but then on the other hand, I would argue Kansas is a great track for Erik Jones. Shoot, he finished 3rd here last fall. If he's been medically cleared to race, it might be nice to get him back in the seat at potentially one of his better tracks, one of Toyota's better tracks the past few years. But hey, I can't fault them for playing it safe. Ultimately, I want Erik Jones to be 100% when he returns because, and I know every injury is a little different, but I think about recent back injuries. Alex Bowman looked like a completely different driver when he returned from his injury last season. And if we go back a decade, Denny Hamlin missed a few races due to a back injury, came back and had maybe his worst statistical season of his career. Didn't win until the very last race of the season. That's not very good by Denny Hamlin standards. So back injuries can linger. They can impact performance. I hope Erik Jones is close to, if not fully 100%. Darlington being his return race, hey, that's a pretty good track to return considering Jones's track record there. It's also a high-speed oval, but you run up so close to the wall. Hopefully, if you get squirrely, the wall will scrub some speed and cushion the blow. Going to be fun to watch Corey Heim drive a Cup Series car once again this weekend, but very excited to hear that Erik Jones will be back, honestly, a little sooner than I expected. Compression fractures, we've seen keep drivers out for 3-4. I think Eric Almirola, I don't remember exactly what his injury was, but he was out for 8 weeks in 2017, if I recall. So I wasn't sure how long Erik Jones would be out. Glad to hear it sounds like it won't be very long. I hope he's able to hit the ground running at Darlington once he returns. It's that time of the year we're going to start talking more frequently about driver contracts. Was it last week? Chase Briscoe told Bob Pockrass he's in an option year with Stewart-Haas trying to earn his keep. Today, JTG Daugherty announced that driver Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has signed a multi-year contract extension. In their official press release, team owner Gordon Smith said, quote, "I'm looking forward to continuing with Ricky as our driver of the number 47. He has been an asset to our team on and off the racetrack since joining us in 2020. Winning the Daytona 500 was a huge accomplishment for our small team, and I know we have more trips to victory lane in our future with Ricky at the wheel." And Brad Daugherty, former NBA player, longtime JTG Daugherty co-owner, had this to say, quote, "We are very excited to have Ricky locked in for years to come. Ricky has continued to grow grow and thrive as a competitor, and he, along with the rest of our race team, are pushing hard to get the 47 back into victory lane. Some very encouraging words from the team. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has struggled to start this year. If I recall, I think I gave his first 9 races of the year an F letter grade. Can you blame me? He's currently 27th in points after making the playoffs a year ago. His average finish this year is nearly 6 positions worse than it was last season. His 2 top 10 finishes have both come at super speedway style tracks. He has 1 top 20 at a non-drafting track. Compared to last year, he had 18 top 20 finishes outside of super speedways. Whoa! It has not been a good year for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. whatsoever, but it's still early. We saw him finish top 5 at Talladega, and he did have some top 10 speed at Dover before spinning out exiting pit road. That's the problem with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., man. He's a 2-time the Nationwide Series champion. He's won the Daytona 500. He's had success in NASCAR. He has the ability, but still, even in year, 12? He still makes, over-aggressive, maybe careless mistakes. I mentioned Dover spinning out exiting pit road when you have a top 10 car. Texas a few weeks earlier, he got into a pissing match, I think with Ty Gibbs. Took himself out. Didn't need that. Ton of raw speed and ability. Not always the most consistent executions. That's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Happy he's found a home at JTG Daugherty. Let's talk about JTG Daugherty, because I'm sure some of y'all have already moved to the comment sections out of confusion. The timing of this signing is very surprising. Less than 2 weeks ago, there was a Sports Business Journal report that suggested Kroger, the team's main sponsor, as well as Jody and Tad Geschecter, 2 of the team's co-owners, could be leaving the team for Joe Gibbs Racing next season. Huge changes could be on the horizon for JTG Daugherty Racing. Now, I read you those statements from Gordon Smith, Brad Daugherty, Tad Geschecter, Jody Geschecter, not mentioned once anywhere in that press release. Kroger, not mentioned once. That suggests to me that there is, in fact, some reshuffling going on over there. I think Tad and Jody Geschecter will be moving over to Joe Gibbs Racing. I'm believing that original SBJ report. The question then is Kroger. Sponsorship. Kroger has sponsored the vast majority of races on that 47 car, either through themselves or their many vendors, for many years now. Losing Kroger would be a huge financial hit for this race team. Maybe this Stenhouse signing suggests Kroger is staying. It's just the Geschecters that are leaving. Maybe there's a new major sponsor coming in. I know Stenhouse has a good relationship with NOS Energy Drink. I doubt they're going to fund all 38 races, but every little bit helps. Maybe Brad Daugherty and Gordon Smith have already found new prospective business partners who could fill the JTG hole. I don't know. Again, I think the timing of this signing is very surprising because say Tad and Jody Geschecter are leaving, that's an opportunity for a new owner or an ownership group to invest in the sport. Brad Daugherty and Gordon Smith have been doing this a long time. They've laid the groundwork. They have a respectable Cup Series team established. If a new owner or ownership group comes in, maybe brings a ton of money, you'd think they'd want to have a say in who drives the car. Is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. the best candidate on the market? That's arguable. I'm not shocked Stenhouse signed an extension with JTG. It's the timing that's surprising. If team ownership is truly shuffling around, if potentially even sponsorship is shuffling around, you'd think they'd wait to lock in their driver, you know? And it's a multi-year deal with Stenhouse. Obviously, there could be like team options, who knows? But that seems like quite the commitment to a driver when there seems to still be a lot behind the scenes that needs to get sorted out. Based on this signing and that press release, I think Tad Geschecter and Jody Geschecter won't be a part of JTG Daugherty next season. The question now is Kroger. And if Kroger goes with the Geschecters, then what major sponsor or sponsors fill that slot? Happy for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., but I still have some questions regarding this race team's immediate future. Leave your best guess down in the comment section below. Before we wrap things up, earlier this morning I posted a full analytical conversation with Ryan Stevens from wintherace.info. I encourage you to go check out the full conversation, but I'd like to share just a short clip with you right here. We talked all about Kyle Larson being the statistical favorite at Kansas, but Ryan and I discussed which Toyota drivers have the best shot at challenging him for the victory this weekend. So let's check that out. Toyota has won 4 straight Kansas races. 3 of them have been 23-11 What do you feel about Toyota's chances? Who are maybe the top 2 or 3 Toyotas that you're looking at coming into this race?
Hamlin and Reddick are the clear one and two for the Toyotas at a track type like this. Like we typically are looking at Vegas, Kansas, Charlotte, other 1.5 type tracks, and only Kyle Larson has a faster or a higher fast lap percentage than Hamlin and Reddick on that track type, using all races 23, 24, Vegas, Kansas, Charlotte. If we look at this season, Reddick could have beat Larson at Vegas, maybe with a couple more laps there. I thought he clearly had the fastest car at Texas, but some things went wrong there on pit road, and he got stuck back pretty far. But if you remember early in that race, he blew by the leader, and he was gaining time.
He had a
I
4
just
or
thought that
5
was
second lead at one point in that race during like the one long run they got.
Reddick's one thing about his pit crew too is they had a bad week that week, but they haven't been terrible all year. He's had a couple, that crew's had a couple top 10 performances as far as our ranks go and win the race. So I don't necessarily see that happening again. But next up would be Truex, in my opinion. He had 8 straight top 10s here before wrecking out last year. So again, I don't know if he could be a race winner. We've seen him kind of buzz by the leaders at some points this year, but it just something will happen, and they end up stronger by the end of the race. But yeah, I think as far as like if you're looking for a top 5 or something like that, Truex should be a strong look.
Again, the full conversation is up on my channel. You can go check that out if you're interested. Again, be sure to check out our new Discord server in collaboration with my friends at the Daily Downforce. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. I will see you all again real soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day, folks. I'll catch you in the next episode.